Today's world is showing us that AI tools are changing profoundly the way that we do business. And to find out more about that, we had a special guest come on to our program, Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, to show people how to use it. I wanted to share that with you. Hi, I'm Terry Brock, and with Gina Carr, my partner, we have Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, where we get a chance to look at what's going on. And I want to give you some tools that are going to be able to help you in your business. Our guest was the amazing James Feldman. Jim Feldman is a wonderful guy who studies AI. He's right up on there. And he gave us, in this recent meeting, a whole bunch of tools that can be used. And that's why I want you to enjoy this little bit different video, a little special, that has a lot of great tools packed into it. You want to get your pencil and paper, or your note-taking device of choice on there so that you can start taking notes on this. And look what he says, and realize there's ways that you can use some of these tools. He starts out with an overview of how CEOs and how many companies are using AI, and it might surprise you. So watch for this graph that he's going to bring up, and then other tools specifically how to do it. Get ready right now to join me as we look at what is happening with AI and tools that you can use with the amazing Jim Feldman.
So here's one that you may find very interesting. Forbes went to a bunch of CEOs and said, how do you use AI? Here was their first mistake. Most of the CEOs have no idea how their department or their company is using it. But that's who they asked. And they said customer service. And I think we would all agree, if AI is really being used for customer service, we got a serious problem here. Because customer service, in my mind, has become polarized. It's either something like Apple, which is live, or something like Microsoft, which is, we'll get back to you, we put you on hold, let us call you back, blah, blah, blah. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Where Apple may take you a little while to get into the queue, but they will spend the time with you to make it right. And then I won't go through all of these, but you kind of get the general gist of how CEOs think it's being used. And I'm about to dispel that for our group here today. Second soundbite. I don't care what you want to do. There's now an app. Period. End of conversation. I don't think you can come up with something other than who's going to walk my dog or who's going to wash my dishes. But in the business, creation, management, operations, social media, customer service, website building, there's an app for that. Period. So I said, hey, let's come up with a cartoon. So this is my cartoon of the king fighting a war. And at the back is a guy from the Acme Machine Gun Company. But he's too busy fighting a war. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Are you using old weapons to fight today's battles? Because you could have the machine gun. But more importantly, behind the machine gun salesman is the future. And the future is now. So don't tell me how busy you are. Don't tell me how difficult it is. Don't tell me all the reasons you can't or won't use AI. And I will tell you, that's a decision that you can make. But your competition is using it, and they're going to put you out of business. You cannot function in today's marketplace without being competitive. And to be competitive, you got to start harnessing this power. Now, here's where it's going to be. Buckle your seatbelts. You're in for a bumpy ride. I cannot possibly talk about 200 tools. But I thought, just to kind of establish credibility and give you an idea of how much time I'm spending, I would create a visual representation. So, number 1 through 5. Notice I've grabbed a logo. I've got the link to it and a short description. There's 10 through 15, 20 through 25, and so forth, 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 and so forth. Am I making my point? And so forth. Stop. How do I run my social media? So I found something called marking. It takes me 5 minutes to create 30 days of content using marking. Here's what happens. You go in, you set up your profile, you tell Marky what you want to talk about, you link your social profiles, you either use their generated images or you put up your own images, and you just go through and let it start to create. So in my case, I have linked 6 social media platforms. I post twice a day to all of them. I have said in the posting, vary it by 30 minutes all the time so it doesn't set up a pattern that alerts me to the social media algorithms that are trying to police it. I vary the background, I vary the content, and so far, since I started, I'm getting an average of 75 new followers a day, average on each of the platforms. Why? Because somebody goes, woo, this guy's posting. It's interesting. He's not trying to sell me anything. He's giving me information. I'll go ahead and add him. That's how you start to build your list. That's how you start to build your credibility. Now, the second thing is I heard everybody starting to talk about Perplexity. We know that Perplexity is a great research tool. But let me change your mind a little. This is a tool that takes all of those, Claude, GP, Gemini, Perplexity, Minstrel, and puts them in a bundle for 13 bucks. Now, I think now they moved it to 19 bucks. So what? It's still cheaper than one of them. And when you use it, it runs them simultaneously. So in other words, here's the Perplexity answer. Here's the Claude answer. Here's the chat answer. And now you can cut, paste, get educated, and become an expert overnight. Try it. There's a free version, like everything. And I recommend, no matter what program you're looking at, start with free, play with it, see if you like it, see if you're going to be able to utilize it or not. But this will put your Perplexity on steroids. Okay, let's talk about creativity. Whoa, big topic. So we start with, you started with Mid-Journey and Runway and I can never pronounce, Synthesis, Leonardo. I mean, those are the big early runners. But it has ramped up big time. Huge, big time. It's not stopping because there's huge demand for it. It's necessary demand for it. Again, where do you stop? Okay, Canva. We all like Canva. Canva's good for this? Not necessarily as good as something else. So my third rule is there is no one size fits all. You got to put together a toolbox that you like, that you can use, that works for you. And it keeps going. If you're looking for great images, try Crayon. If you're looking for some amazing things that it will do, look at Photar. Look at Super Machine. Look at these. You probably looked at these and go, Jim, I never heard of these. I never saw any of these. That's because they don't promote. They don't send out emails. You have to be like Jim and Terry and Gina, where we're just going on and say, show me the new tools. Here's one you may have never seen before because it's buried behind Mid-Journey. Stability under one creative tool has all of these things. Now, what does that mean? See and search and replace. I can click on that image and say, I want that to become a frog, and it changes. Remove background, we all know about. When you get into things like outpaint and upscale, here's a picture of a dog, but I wanted the dog to be more in the foreground, it'll do it. Outpaint says, I'm going to put in a new background, but I like some of what's here. So you don't want a normal background remover. You want to be able to like take an eraser and erase part of it and then upload the new one. All under one tool. Here's a presentation maker. For me, it's a game changer. Canva makes slides. Lots of people make slides. I talked about SlideGo to make slides. Here's one you may have never seen before. Take a PDF, upload it, and it'll create a slide deck all by itself. Now, Jim, how are you doing that? I'll tell you how I do that. I'll do my research on Perplexity. I'll then put it into chat. I'll use my voice to create my own tones. I will take that and put it into Grammarly to clean it up to make sure I got it right. Then I'll put it into Word and make a PDF. Now, in all fair disclosure, I sometimes will take 4 or 5 things off the internet that other people have written. I'll do the same thing and then merge everything together, clean it up, put it into Grammarly, and then check for plagiarism. Because I don't want to steal somebody else's ideas. But let's face it, if somebody's got a good idea, there's not a reason to not use it as long as you're not claiming it as your own. Now, with Perplexity, you can have citations and references if you're actually going to use that as a specific site. But I don't. I put it back into my own voice. So I would tell you, try Dectopus because it's $14.95 for the month. It will change your whole perception of creating a slide deck. And the other one we talked about last week was SlidesGo, which is very, very inexpensive. It's owned by FreePix. I won't go into it because we did it last week. But again, a game changer, and its talent is you type in what you want to talk about, and AI will then generate everything. Where Dectopus is asking you, do you have something as a starting point, and we'll go from there. It will do the AI, but it doesn't do the AI as well as the SlideGo, and the SlideGo won't even accept the PDF. Back to my same comment, one size does not fit all. So as you look through that, I recognize you got a lot on your plate. It's like, I'm hungry, I need to go shopping. So when you go shopping, you go to the grocery store. AI tools are like the grocery store. The grocery store has 30,000 items in the average grocery store. And everybody can access the same items. And you go to the grocery store, and you typically go, oh, bananas are on sale. Well, I didn't come for bananas, but they're only 19 cents, so I guess I'll buy some bananas. That's the problem with all the AI tools. Here's an introduction at $29. Here's an introduction at $49. Here's and you start to load up on all these tools, and you never master any of them. So the first decision you have to decide is, when I go to the grocery store and I go to tools, am I looking for basic or am I looking for gourmet? I can tell you with Gina and Terry and I go, we're more in the gourmet because we've already felt comfortable with the basics. Now we're trying to create some additional things on the plate, some things that it isn't doing otherwise. But I go back to the concept of Costco. 2 things you know for sure at Costco, and that's really the only 2 things you know. You have a $1.50 hot dog and a $4.99 chicken. So you go at lunchtime to get the hot dog and to get a chicken for dinner. But you're at Costco's. And so now you fill your shopping cart with a couple $100 worth of stuff. Don't do that with AI tools. Because even though it looks like it's a great bargain, and you take it home, it's like overbuying at Costco's. You can't use it, and it's wasted. So one of the things that I've been doing is I've been using AI tools to create very focused workbooks, very focused subject matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of those. See those? Average 40 pages. Did them all over the 4th of July weekend. Start to finish, created, published, graphics, etc. All these images you see, all AI generated. You could have never written one in a weekend, more or less 10. Now, lastly, I want to remind everybody that the bad guys are using the tools the same as the good guys. And as a result, false profiles are being created, false images are being created, and they're using them to extract money. And during COVID, I started realizing how big a problem this was. And I started tracking it. And so I made a website. And I said, I'm going to do a bunch of things on the website as I do my homework. And then I started to realize that what was happening to teens was different than what's happening to college students, which was different than what's happening to mature people, that was happening to more mature people. And so I created a romance scam expert website. And as a result, through my diligence, this is a partial showing of the people that I've had arrested. using AI tools. All of these are letters from the U.S. Department of Justice telling me the status of these people that have been scamming others. So, do you have the tools? Do you have the time? Do you have the inclination? I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and show you a tool called puppetry. So puppetry says upload an image and then upload a voice and we'll animate it. So I uploaded the image and I said, I'm not going to upload my voice. I'm just going to let it upload a voice.
Harnessing the power of AI for your business is no longer an option. You won't lose business to AI, but you will lose business to someone that is using AI.
Now, my initial response is, I look ugly. But I didn't edit it. I just let it do what it was doing. So if you're looking to take an object or take a graph or take a cartoon and animate it, I'd suggest you look at puppetry. And if you're trying to build your business and you're trying to decide whether I should use LinkedIn Navigator or Apollo, I'd suggest you look at Apollo. Apollo scrubs the internet for contacts, and it is constantly updating it so that you get intel that you cannot get from Navigator. And it's totally customizable. Apollo.ai. And everything that I say, everything that Terry says, everything that Gina says has behind it trust but verify, because the information is coming off the internet. And we all know that sometimes the information on the internet is not always factual. So I want to give you a gift. Like many people, I want you to have a takeaway. So I've got a deck for you of 50 tools. But if I just give it to you, I don't know who got it. I don't know if there's any opportunity to work with somebody. And as speakers and consultants, we've been exposed to something called Talkadot. And within Talkadot, you can do a giveaway. So here's my slide. Please use your QR code. Answer the 5 questions. It will take you 1 minute. And as a thank you, you're going to get those 50 AI tools that we just talked about. Now, you in the audience are more than willing to do that because you're getting something back for your time. And what you as a Talkadot customer are getting is feedback in real time. Since I've used it, I have hundreds, literally hundreds of responses at 100% satisfaction. I don't know anybody that ever got 100% from an audience. And especially if you said, fill out this survey or fill out this piece of paper, etc. The real advantage of Talkadot is it's real time while they've seen you, heard you, felt you, experienced you. And it's a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're done. Thank you. Here's your stuff and move on. And you get their contact information. So as we close up, I want you to watch this graph. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you use AI, shift happens. And if you're not going to use it now, then when? Thanks for your time. Be happy to take any questions.
Jim, great job. Thank you. Loaded with information and just Fabulous. That was amazing. A lot of tools there. And I'd encourage you to go out and check out those sites, see what's available, see if it's right for you, and look into what can be done with AI. Your world is waiting for you out there to see what's going to be done, to find out how you can start using this magic of AI and really make it happen. Jim Feldman did a great job on that. And I encourage you to get in touch with him, find out about how you could work with him, see some of the areas where he is exploring new AI tools and new options for it. Here's how you can reach him. Reach out to Jim at inquiries@JFAINC. That's JFAINC.com. And of course, to reach us, you can bounce over to Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, all as one word, starkravingentrepreneurs.com. So take a look at that, find out what you can do, and get involved in AI. There's a lot of good things that can happen for you. As a matter of fact, we've got a couple of really good videos that are going to help you learn how you can use AI more, how you can work with it right here. Click on these and stay in tune with what's happening with AI. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you for joining us today, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.